Anthony Harwig here with another Canfield softball player profile. I am joined by Faith Morell. Faith, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
All right, we have to talk about yesterday, the state semifinal game, Canfield with the walk-off victory 2-1. You're the one that puts on the cape this time and gets in the game-winning run with a really just awesome suicide squeeze bunt that goes right down the first baseline and scores your teammate Haley Freedy for the win. Faith, let's talk about this game before we get into your career and some of the things about you. But you go into the state semifinal game, I think everyone knew it was going to be a pitcher's duel, but you're sitting there as an offense through 6 innings, still looking for your first hit. What did it feel like going into that final inning, knowing that you still just needed one run and to at least tie and keep that going?
It was definitely nerve-wracking at first, but I knew we could do it because we're a team. We're not going to give up. That's just how I feel like most Canfield sports are run. We're just taught to never give up, and if any team was going to do it, it was going to be us.
How much energy did it give the dugout and your team to see that first hit come up? And Gianna Panunzio hits a little blooper right over the circle in the pitcher's circle, and then you get a base runner. It had to feel good for this team in the dugout to just get something on board.
It felt great. I mean, it started us off. We just gained so much confidence after G hit that ball over the pitcher's head.
All right, so here you come up. You already have tied the game. Haley Freedy's on third. You know what kind of speed she has. First question is was that a called bunt, or is that something that you saw from the defense that you did yourself?
Well, I called timeout to make sure he wanted me to bunt because I haven't bunted the whole season. So I called timeout and I went up to him and I asked him, I was like, do you want me to bunt in this situation? And he said yes. So I knew I had to get that bunt down.
So he gave you the signal, and you were like, "Wait a minute, are you sure?"
Yeah.
So what was going through your head? Okay, so you confirmed it with Coach Kernan. All right, I have to bunt. I haven't done it yet this season, but if I do it right, we're gonna win. What kind of things were going through your head?
I was definitely nervous, but I knew I could do it. I mean, we do it in practice. I've done it my whole life throughout travel, throughout high school, but I feel like this bunt was like the most important bunt I had in my whole life. I had to get it down.
With all that going on, I mean, you executed it perfectly. It didn't affect your mental ability to do it. When you got it down and you kind of realized that it was going to score, what were the emotions like for you?
Well, I didn't know if it was rolling foul or anything. I was just running to first base, and then I saw Coach Barb start screaming, so I knew Haley scored, and I just had a bunch of emotions. I was happy, but I was also sad, and I was just so excited for the team.
Yeah, that must have been weird for you because you couldn't look back to see
Mm-mm.
if she scored. You had to just run to first, and then you had to
Yep.
just rely on the sound of the crowd and, like you said, the sound of your coach going nuts. That was, I mean, it just barely stayed
Yeah.
fair. When you watch it, I'm sure you've seen some video highlights, and I'm sure you've seen the celebration that your teammates were able to have at home plate. I mean, what kind of moment was that like for you?
I was nervous. Once I saw the video, I was like a split second, and that she would have grabbed it up a second later, it would have been foul, and I would have had to swing because there's two strikes. But I guess it's just luck. Like it just landed in the perfect spot, and she picked it up at the right time.
Some call it luck. Some call it a little bit of faith. When you think about, let's go over your whole season as a whole. This Cardinals team has fought so hard to get to this point. What were some of the things that you did, at the start of the season and in the off season and the long winter to kind of get ready for this year and try to make the most of the next opportunity that you were going to have this year in this lineup?
In the off season, we started very early. We started October maybe, and we did like speed and agility, and we did yoga, and I feel like that kind of helped us as a team, like the camaraderie to build our team spirit and just like get closer as a team. And then once we were allowed to actually start like practicing and stuff, that's when we started working on like the skills, and we've been working hard ever since we started, and I think that's what's helped us the most.
you've done good enough this year to earn the spot in the lineup that is the cleanup spot in the four hole. What does it mean to you that your coaches trust you enough to put you in that position where you're in a lot of RBI opportunities and they trust you to get the big base hits that you need for a win?
It means a lot to me knowing that they trust me. I'm not a senior, I'm a junior, so just having knowing they trust me to put me in that spot, that this is my first year on varsity and that they're willing to put me in that spot and give our team a chance.
Even though there are 8 seniors on this team, you are not alone as a player that is on the first year varsity. Obviously, Leah Figueroa is a freshman, but there are even
Mhm.
a couple of seniors that weren't, consistent starters on this lineup last year that have stepped into this opportunity. And all of you that are having your first year on the varsity field are having such a great season. What do you think you attribute that to? What made it so easy for you to just come right into this varsity level and have a lot of success?
First of all, I think having a new coach, it was kind of like a clean slate for everyone. And knowing that those girls on that field, I've played with them since I was little, and there was nothing nervous. I wasn't nervous at all to go play with them because I played with them my whole life.
One of the things we talked about on the broadcast with this team is the 8 seniors and how much you guys just wanted to make sure their season didn't end yesterday. What was that like? I mean, 8 seniors on the team, and you're all fighting for their careers to stay alive, and obviously they contributed a lot to that too. But for the you non-seniors, what was it like to give them one more practice and one more game?
Today felt really good at practice, knowing that we won that game for them. Like we weren't gonna let them go down. We want their last game to be memorable, and I feel like that the best way to do that is to have be the state championship game.
I also want to ask about playing behind Melena Toth and watching her do what she's been doing in the circle this year. It's got to be such a fun experience when she's having success like she is. To know as an offense, you don't have to go out and put up 9, 10 runs. I mean, you can go and you can put up a solid 3 or 4 and know that we're doing the job with Melena Toth in the circle.
Milena is definitely she's a great person. She's not just a good softball player. She's humble. She's a great person. She's fun to be around. And I think her just being the best pitcher that personally I've seen, that it just like I feel comfortable in the field knowing that she kind of leads the team.
Do you ever get to go up against her in practice? Do you ever get any live pitching from Melena Toth?
Sometimes in practice, I haven't seen her much. When we were younger, she played on opposite travel teams as I did. So when we were younger, I definitely faced her a couple times.
Well, maybe not the most experience against her, but I still think you can answer it from a hitter's perspective. What do you think it is about her pitching that makes her so hard to hit?
She has a lot of movement and she's very confident. She doesn't get down on herself. Like she walks about her, it doesn't matter to her. She's just going to go up, do her best next time.
All right, we hear this dugout. We hear all the noises you guys make and how loud you guys get. Take us inside the dugout. What kind of personality? How would you describe the personality of this Canfield softball team?
We can get rowdy, very rowdy, especially people in the dugout. We like to cheer and scream for our teammates. We like to do our 12U cheers still.
What's your favorite cheer?
Uh, I don't know. I like them all. Probably, I like G's. The hit it. Oh my God, what is it? I forget it.
Oh no. I'm sure you'll remember it as soon as you get in the dugout tomorrow. But what else I want to know is what I've heard from all your teammates is the dugout snack scene at Canfield softball
Uh,
is the best in the area. What is your favorite dugout snack?
the Rice Krispie treats Miss
Mm.
Kernan gets for us.
Now, are they like the packaged ones, or does she make them?
They're the packaged ones.
Still good, still good. Um, when you think of things that you like to do to kind of get your mental space right, softball is such a mental sport. What kind of things do you do to keep yourself in the game mentally throughout the ups and downs of softball?
Probably just relax. I like to breathe a lot and just relax and know that have the confidence in our team.
every hitter has kind of a routine, right? They have a routine that they like to go up there in the box and have the same thing happen every time. What's yours? What's your routine in the box?
I go in, I look at my bat, and then I look out on the field and just know I'm gonna get a hit.
Do you ever talk to your bat? Do you ever tell it like, "Hey, we're gonna get a hit now"?
Not out loud. I do in my head.
When you think of this team and obviously the leadership that the seniors have had, what do you think are going to be some of the main lessons that you take away from them next year when you're a senior and you're asked to be much more of a leader in this group?
Just knowing that no matter what happens, you gotta play for the team. We only have two seniors starting, so the rest of the seniors, I just know that they're not there for themselves. They're playing for the whole team.
When you look at what it's going to be like next year and the senior year, it also comes with trying to figure out your future, right? That's what junior year is all about, trying to get ready for senior year and trying to figure out what kind of things you want to do after high school. Have you put much thought into that? Have you kind of narrowed down maybe a list of career paths that you want to see yourself going into?
Uh, I want to be a child psychologist. I don't really know where I want to go to school yet, but I'm set on being a psychologist.
When someone is set like that, and it seems like it was something that you've been set on for a little bit, what made it so easy to kind of say this is what I want to be? Is it a life experience or someone that guided you towards that track? What is it about your life that makes you want to be a child psychologist?
I just want to be able to help like younger kids, because I know mental health is a big like thing right now, especially with COVID and with social media. I just want to be able to help kids.
Speaking of little kids, when you are as successful as you are in a state semifinal, I saw a lot of young girls rooting for Canfield there yesterday, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of young girls in the Canfield softball community, whether it be little league or under, that are going to be watching on Saturday. What is it about having little girls look up to you that is so special?
I just remember being that little and looking up to the high school girls. It doesn't seem real that like I've grown up that fast, but I used to be one of them, and knowing that how much that means for me, how much that used to mean for me to look up to them.
Do you have any players in your mind that you think of that you looked up to when you were little and you watched the high school team?
My neighbor used to play for the Canfield team. Her name is Kaylin, and I really looked up to her because we used to be friends. Like we used to play catch, and yeah.
You also brought up, wanting to be a strong, positive mindset in the mental health aspect. I'm sure through your career in softball, playing since a young age, you've had some forms of adversity to get you through the career because softball is a sport where it's up and down. You're going to have to deal with failure. What do you think is your biggest, adversity that you've faced in your career, and how did you mentally get past it?
Um, I'm honestly gonna say the biggest one was during travel season when I had to switch teams this year. It was really hard just playing with new girls that I really haven't played with, but I had to get through it because I knew that it was gonna help me get better, get to know new people.
How much has travel just in general helped you grow as a softball player?
I think it's really helped my confidence. I like relax during travel because and I get ready for the high school season because I just feel like high school is everything. Like getting to the state championship, it means a lot. So just getting through travel, I get to get better during travel season.
Faith, we can't let you go without asking about Coach Kernan. You brought him up earlier and how much of a clean slate having a new coach has brought this program. From your perspective, what has he brought to the team, and what kind of things do you think he's made such a big difference in from last year to this year?
He's very competitive and he makes us work hard for what we've earned. He doesn't ever give up on us, no matter like last night, at the bottom of the seventh inning. He never gave up. He was always with us, and he's just like helped build up all of our confidence.
What were some of your first impressions of Coach Kernan in the first maybe meetings or the first time meeting him? What were some of your first impressions?
I was scared at first because when he walked in, he was very serious, and I knew he would be a good coach, but I was definitely nervous because I mean he was new, but he was ready to go.
What was there like a moment or an interaction with him that kind of won you over or kind of made you like realize that you didn't have to be nervous and he was the coach that you could trust and build that trust with?
Probably anytime during the off season, like he would still work hard with us, and I knew I could trust him because he was trying to help each girl get better.
All right, Faith. Before we let you go, though, I do want to give you the chance to thank your support system, all the people that are in your corner, anyone that you think deserves a shout out for you. I'm going to give you the time to do so.
I want to shout out my parents, my grandparents, and my siblings for coming to all my games. Coach Kernan, Coach Barb, Coach Beasy, Coach CJ, Coach Durkin, and Coach Maz. And I want to shout out my hitting coach, Coach Flickinger, and all my teammates.
How much credit did Coach Flickinger take for that bunt?
Uh, he didn't say anything.
Oh, no.
He's not taking that credit.
All right, Faith. What a moment. Congratulations on that. Good luck tomorrow in the state championship. Thanks for coming on and talking with us for a little bit, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you.